Pretty pathetic. Pretty pathetic. A sad state of affairs is the AL Central. Twins do nothing at the deadline. Cleveland basically sells at the deadline, essentially. I guess you could argue they did a refresh, but certainly they did more to help themselves down the road than they did for this year. Nobody even cares to win the AL Central. It's not just that the AL Central is bad. On top of that, no one's going to bother to try to win the division. Pathetic. It's pathetic. Disappointing day. You all nailed it. I pulled this poll I put together this morning, put it out there, pulled it up with about 20 minutes left in the deadline, just as curious as what everybody's thoughts were. And 42% predicted no moves for the Twins today. I'm surprised. This is honestly the only thing that really was going to surprise me. I think I mentioned that in that live stream, is if the Twins did literally nothing. There was a lot of things I could see them doing. They end up doing nothing. I was a little bit surprised at the... Not that there was a lot of moves that went down, but there were a lot of guys who I figured were going to get traded that didn't get traded. There was a lot of guys in the rumor mill that were discussed that did not get traded. And, the Twins come away with nothing. They didn't add anything. They didn't subtract anything. They just didn't do anything. Dylan Floro for Jorge Lopez becomes the only move that they make. And really, that wasn't even an addition. That was like a Cleveland-style move where it was just sort of they were just moving guys around. So really, this division... again, just pathetic that nobody's going to try to win this division. This should have been the easy deadline. This was an easy assignment. When you've got to go out there and try to get a legit starting pitcher, that's hard. That's really hard, and it's difficult to, when is the right time, and to know that, to move some of your top prospects. And the I didn't think that the Twins were making those kinds of decisions at this deadline. That should have been a very easy deadline. You needed at least another bullpen guy, because again, Floro isn't even really an addition. He just replaces Lopez. And you needed a platoon bat, a right-handed hitting bat. Those should be the two of the easiest things you can find at a trade deadline, and the Twins can't do it. This minor league system isn't at the top of where it's been in the past, but I think the depth is very solid. I think there's enough depth in this minor league system to where you should be able to get out there and acquire a bullpen arm or two and a platoon bat. These aren't huge trades that we're talking about here that some of these guys who would have fit these roles went for. And I understand the fan base has been very gun-shy about trading prospects after what happened last year, but I'm surprised if that had an influence on what the Twins were thinking internally. Some people I've seen suggest that this says that Derek Falvey is safe. I'm not sure if it more suggests that he wasn't trusted to make any moves. I'm not sure. Just weird. Again, there were small additions that could have made a major impact for this team. There are clear holes. There's also a lot going on that's going well, that we've seen go well, that could go even better. Now, obviously, this 5-game losing streak of late has certainly splashed some cold water on that. But again, they're in first place. The division is there for the taking, and just nobody's caring. Nobody cares to go get it. Pathetic, embarrassing. It's embarrassing that there wasn't more of an effort made. That's my take on it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what else to say other than that. It'll be interesting to see. I would say it'll be interesting to see how they play this, but we know there's going to be a bunch of Falvey non-speak, and they'll talk about how the guys internally were always going to be the ones who had to turn this around, which is true, but that doesn't mean that they could have gotten some additional help here, and for, again, modest prices. These things, it doesn't take, Tyler Mahle, Jorge Lopez at the time of the trade. That's not the kind of profile we're talking about here. Those kind of trades, you do have to go out and you do have to give out an uncomfortable amount of talent to acquire some of those guys. Some of these guys that got traded today, you're not going to get something for nothing. But, boy, really don't get it. Really don't get it. Understood that the Twins weren't going to do anything super aggressive this year, but to not even add along the fringes to give this team a better chance, to make this team more functional, it's just dumb. I think it's dumb in my mind. Just a silly thing to have gone about doing. Obviously, it's a two-way street. You can't make teams make trades, but I have a hard time believing there were not upgrade opportunities out there that the Twins decided to not pursue. And I'm frustrated, if you couldn't tell. So let me know what you think. Again, you all were on it, so maybe you guys aren't as surprised or as frustrated, since 42% of you had predicted that already. But let me know what you think. Thanks for checking this out. Thanks to all the channel members for sponsoring these videos. Yeah, here are the premium members. We'll talk again soon.